Excellency, country to be faithful, loyal, and honest, to serve Nigeria with all my strength, to defend her unity and uphold our honor and glory. So help me God. Please be seated. The President of Nigeria and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. Your Excellency, the Chief Host for today, the Mother, First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Chairman, Renewed Hope Initiative, Her Excellency Oluremi Tinubu, CON, First Ladies of African countries and members of the Organization of African Ladies for Development, Her Excellency the First Lady of Angola, Dr. Ana Dias do Lourenço, Burundi, Her Excellency Mrs. Angeline Ndayishimiye, Her Excellency Mrs. Nguema, the First Lady of Mrs. Fatuma, Her Excellency Mrs. Rebecca Akufo-Addo, First Lady of Kenya, Her Excellency Mrs. Rachel, the First Lady of Mozambique, Her Excellency Dr. Mara Thero Nyusi, the First Lady of Sierra Leone, Mrs. Fatima Mauda Bio, the First Lady of Zimbabwe, Her Excellency Mrs. Ama Oxia Gwagwa, former First Ladies of the Federal Republic of Nigeria present here, wife of the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Her Excellency Hajia Nana Shettima, wife of Nigeria's Senate President, Her Excellency Mrs. Ekaite Unoma Akpabio, distinguished senators and wives of senators here present, wife of the Speaker, Nigeria's House of Representatives, Hajia Fatima Tajuddin Abbas, honorable ministers, honorable members here present, and wives of honorable members, wife of the Secretary to the Federation, Honorable Regina Akume, wife of the Chief of Staff to the President, Mrs. Salamatu Bajabia Mela. I recognize all the First Ladies from the various states in Nigeria that are here Your Excellencies, Honorable Ministers present and wives of Honorable Ministers present, especially our guest speaker today, very relevant to today's event, Honorable Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Mamman, OON-SAN. Wives of service chiefs and heads of security agencies present, development partners present, UBEC Executive Secretary Dr. Ahmed Baboyi and his team, President of the National Council of Women Societies and members, gentlemen and women of the press, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I say to you today, welcome to Nigeria. Bienvenue, bienvenue, welcome to of plenty. Another historic and significant milestone of the Organization of African First Ladies for Development and the First Lady, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Her Excellency Tinubu, CON, whose visionary leadership, pioneering and frontline role as First Lady of Lagos State then provided a watershed in 2007 for what we are witnessing today. The thrust of today's campaign, and I read and I quote, "We are equal in education as a powerful tool for change. No girl be left behind." End of quote. Of the Alternative High School for Girls program, initiated in 2007 by Her Excellency Senator Oluremi Tinubu, in her quest to ensure that there is hope, even for reasons such as early pregnancies, marriages, or marginalization. There is hope, and go back to school, complete high school, and get acquired skills. This laudable initiative has caught up on a global scene, and our First Lady, that mustard seed planted in 2007, has germinated under the auspicious occasion of her exalted office as First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And so today, she has given hope to, and we pay tribute to power of uncommon imagination and vision, unwavering commitment to gender mainstreaming of the girl child, education, skills acquisition, and overall women empowerment. I thought I would be hearing claps. I thought appreciations would go on. A vision in 207 today has become a realization, not just for Nigeria, but in the continent. Thank you, our First Lady and Mother of the Nation. Thank you for the vision. Thank you so much. And I think the applause should be louder, except, of course, if you do not believe in what we are doing. At this moment, I would humbly invite His Excellency President Bola Tinubu, GCFR, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who has stood firm, who is with us as women, and believing that the country cannot be fast-tracked until, of course, our girls and women are taken along. And women, on behalf of all of us, I welcome His Excellency, our President, to address us as he gives us the welcome address.
Thank you. Your Excellency, my dear wife, First Lady of Federal Republic of Nigeria, Tinubu. Your Excellency, all the African mothers of our continent, I will stand on the existing protocol. I want to especially thank all of you for keeping this date and making a promise of life and hope for the girl child. Let me just go straight, Your Excellencies, distinguished First Ladies from across African development partners, from all society organizations present, and members of the diplomatic community. It is a great honor and immense pleasure for me to welcome you to Nigeria and to the launch of the Organization of African First Ladies for Development. We are equal. We can repeat that again. We are equal. With the theme, hashtag, we are equal campaign, that all our children, regardless, must participate in opportunity. Salute the commitment, dedication of the African First Ladies as members of to advance gender equality, that gap across the African continent. May I say once again, I salute you. The campaign holds a significant importance for us in Africa. I therefore congratulate you, all of you, and particularly your wife, Senator Oluremi, the First Lady of Nigeria. She has chosen education as a priority to champion this campaign nationwide. I remember it all started from Lagos. I'm aware that this campaign has been successfully launched in 15 African countries, focusing on health, education, economic empowerment, and gender business. I'm also delighted to learn of all the various initiatives that Your Excellencies embark upon in your respective countries. I celebrate all of you. We must continue to create opportunities for all our children to access quality education without leaving anyone behind, particularly the girl child. We must enjoy a society where everyone has the same opportunities, regardless of who they are, because Doing that leads to a stronger and more peaceful and developed society for all of us. It is noteworthy that the launch of this campaign in Nigeria coincides with the reintroduction of the alternative for girls, championed by the First Lady. This initiative is a second chance to young girls who might have dropped out of school to be able to further their education and fulfill their dreams and aspirations and become a very important contributor to the development of our nation. I'm happy to know that the foundation stone of one of the schools was recently laid in Osun State, in western part of Nigeria, by the First Lady. More schools are on their way across the country, supported by the state government, I assure you with the federal government, through Universal Basic Education, UBEC, and other development partners. As governor of Lagos State, before I became president of Nigeria in May 29, I witnessed firsthand how societal challenges, just unwarranted teenage pregnancy, domestic violence, human trafficking, and drug addiction, which can obstruct the promising future of our young girls. Indeed, the introduction of alternative high school for girls by the First Lady of Nigeria must have received inspiration from the successful implementation of a similar initiative in Lagos State during my tenure as governor. Research has consistently highlighted education as the cornerstone of national development. When girls are empowered to pursue their dreams, communities thrive, economics prosper, and nation will succeed and succeed faster. It is therefore incumbent on all of us to continue to take bold and decisive actions to eliminate the structural inequalities that hold women back on the continent. We must be conscious of the fact that the empowerment of women and girls is essential to achieving each of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. We must build an inclusive opportunity economy for prosperity to be even. We must be conscious of the fact that the empowerment of women and girls is essential to achieving each of the United Nations Sustainable Goals. We must work together, promote and policies that protect and promote women's rights, invest in the girls, their education and skill development, and create economic opportunity that are accessible to all. For us I assure you, the full realization of the student loan higher education is key to achieving these goals. It will ensure that all young people on access to education. The Nigerian government is also implementing 80,000 naira non-repayable for 1 million Nigerians in nano businesses and skilled trades, including women and youths. We will continue our promise to end gender-based violence and increase learning opportunities for girls in safe and conducive environment. These measures will enable more women to succeed in different vocations and properly shape their future in the from politics to engineering, from science and technology, sport, and the creative economy. We will do all we must do to promote this opportunity. I commend African ladies for the we are equal campaign. More membership is needed to help our girls embrace their identities and traditions proudly. As Africans, we believe in wholesome society. We are a family oriented, bonded by great values and collective well-being of these values and partners and the guardians to teach our girls our cherished cultural values and tradition. Africans are known for warm hospitality and generosity. Our can-do spirit also enshrine on us with the ability to thrive in challenging environments and challenging circumstances. We are who we are. We are Africans. See that and believing in ourselves would definitely help us if we work together in unity. I want to say again that I'm firmly committed to ensuring that no Nigerian child is excluded from quality education that prepares women and girls to lead and bring positive changes to our communities. Let us carry forward this campaign, which promises to give an educated child the potential to bring the necessary change and transformation in African community for the better. No one can do this better than those of you gathered here today, the First Ladies. I see you leading, believing, and working hard. We will follow. Yes, we are equal. Spirit, knowledge, determination, and you persevere harder than we men. We thank you for being together to navigate the future of the girl child. It is now my honor to launch the hashtag We Are Equal campaign in Nigeria. I wish you all a fruitful deliberation. If there's any other thing you want me to contribute, I'm ready and available. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We thank you very much, our President, for that endorsement. Thank you for hope renewed. Thank you for making it public that indeed we are equal. I wanted you to resonate that with me, that indeed we are. Thank you very much. At this moment, I would invite again our President, who would have group photographs. Our First Lady would be inviting her sisters from Africa. First ladies from Africa who are here with us will have the first photographs taken with His Excellency, our President. Thereafter, we would now have representatives of First Ladies here present. At this moment, may I please humbly invite again the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Tinubu GCFR, who would step out, and then Her Excellency, our First Lady and Mother of the Nation, would invite first all the First Ladies from Africa that are here for this photo opportunity. All the First Ladies, please, present. All the African First Ladies present here will partake in this first photo session. First Lady of Gabon, First Lady of Gambia, First Lady of Ghana, First Lady of Kenya, First Lady of Sierra Leone, First Lady of Zimbabwe. Thank you very much. May we please have all the representatives. Yes, we are done. Oh, thank you, all of you. Yes. Shall we please give His Excellency, our President, a round of applause as he sets out. Can you please be seated? Thank you. receive with us the Mother of the Nation, welcome back, Ma'am. We'll now continue with the program as I invite a drama piece titled Renewed Hope. It's a dance drama that was written by Ola Awakon. Can we please start the dance drama?
Aya, give me the baby. Look, see for yourself.
Without education, girls would lack necessary skills to support themselves and access information to make informed decisions about their health and future. The alarming rate of schools dropouts among girls are a stark reminder of the need for alternative solutions in their educational pursuits.
I will also add my voice to this initiative and become an agent of positive change through education. Yes, my friend! So, I will not be left to be relegated to the background again because of lack of education. Yes! No, my God, just hold it. Let me put this inside. I'm coming back out.
Now there is hope. The alternative high school for girls has just been born to revive the hopes and the aspiration of the girl child in Nigeria. Congratulations, girls. You are now graduates. It is now time for grace to enjoy the grace of God. Grace and her peers have now graduated, and they are now agents of change in the society. The only thing that made this possible is the alternative high school for girls. This is great news.
With education, my hope was renewed. And now I can say that we are all equal in accessing the opportunities for greatness and success in life. Let us believe in ourselves as girls. We can achieve anything. Through education, we are equal.
Awesome. 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 I think they deserve a very loud round of applause. That's the essence of why we're here today. And that essence speaks for itself. Again, Mother of the Nation, thank you. The dream of 2007 has become a reality. And this is why we are all gathered. And I hope that we'll make ourselves ambassadors to go preach and ensure that we are indeed equal in every strata of human development. We'll move on now, and we're going to listen to one of our very best in the continent and indeed Nigeria. And chosen today as our guest speaker is the Honorable Minister for Education, who is going to speak to us on alternative high school experiences in Nigeria. Welcome with me, Professor Tahir Bama, OON, SAN, our guest speaker for today. That applause is not encouraging enough. And I know that he's going to be very impactful. Honorable Minister, welcome to the microphone.
Your Excellency, the Mother of the Nation, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, GCON, the First Ladies of the various African countries here present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, if I may respectfully stand on the protocol which has been laid out here. It's my honor and privilege to be the speaker at this very, very major, life-changing occasion for Nigeria. The theme of today's occasion were equal. What gives us that equality? Two things. Among many, but in a very general way, two things. One is our humanity as God's creation. God created us all equal. But secondly, what also makes us equal is education above all. However, as we know, very frequently rights are taken away by various factors. For us as humanity, there are some of these factors which have taken away that equality. Problems with our culture, problems with poverty. Poverty is part of the socio-economic factors which take away the issue of equality, and some other considerations. Now, as we, as a government, as a nation, everywhere there have been progress made in ensuring quality and uniformity of opportunity for all. However, as we know, that has not been with complete success. So our job here today is to present to this audience what the Nigerian government has been doing to address issues of equality, in particular as it affects girl-child education. Next slide, please. Now, the concept of alternative education is coined for us by our First Lady. Before now, what we had was second chance education. I think she deserves a very big clap for that. Now, the simple reason for it is that second chance comes with some kind of, inequality by itself. But alternatives suggest that you are providing a further opportunity for somebody to pursue what he has missed in the past for reasons beyond that person's control. So, next slide, please. These are the beneficiaries of alternative high education. These are women and ladies and girls who, for one reason or the other, have had their education stunted, usually from cultural practices, early marriage, and in fact, refusal by parents to allow their daughters to go to school, which in some cultures in the past was a very prevalent attitude. Thirdly, as we also know, under the SDG program, nations are required to provide sustainable development goal that is qualitative and inclusive for all, and to significantly ensure lifelong learning for all its citizens. And as human beings, as we have said, every person is entitled to have the opportunity to realize, to have the capacity and the empowerment to realize their dreams of becoming literate, educated, and play an important role in family life and in the economy and politics of the country. This can only be achieved when that person is educated. The Federal Minister of Education has a number of parastatals and agencies which provide opportunities for girls' learning and education. However, the main one at the moment is, and through which a number of programs are being run at the moment, is the Universal Basic Education Commission, which has constructed or established about 45 schools right across the country for this purpose. We have other parastatals such as the National Commission for Mass Literacy, Adult and Non-Formal Education, which has been very active too. This agency has schools on wheels in the rural areas, taking schools to girls and women, you know, especially the nomadic population. They have such a facility, and they've been very active in that regard over the years. Then we have also the nomadic education, which is also this, something complementary. A new commission was set up shortly in the twilight of the last administration, which this government has given enormous primacy to, which is the Almajiri and out-of-school children, with a very wide mandate to integrate out-of-school in Nigeria with the Sangaya, the Islamic education. And a large proportion of the work of this agency is going to be girls who are out of school and actually who are out there learning Islamic education. The idea is to integrate that level of education with modern education and skills. Many state governments too have also been major players in the provision in this type of education, in particular Borno State. The First Lady, the mother of the nation, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, recently announced plans to strengthen and give additional impetus to the alternative high school, which, as I said, renamed the Second Chance School to alternative high schools. This high-profile intervention is a major step towards empowering the country's most vulnerable young women. It is aimed to give girls who have dropped out of school, as we have said, the opportunity to be educated, to acquire life skills, and be engaged in the country's economy and politics. The First Lady has declared her support for the education of the girl aimed at closing the gaps in girls' education. And in furtherance of this passion, she was physically in Bauchi in March to commission a new UBEC Second Chance or alternative high school girls and inaugurated an ICT center and some educational facilities in that state, which are all geared to supporting the education of girls, as we can see, when she all the way went to Bauchi for this purpose. She also turned the sword for a new, brand new alternative high school in Oshobo on 23rd April and urged state governments to strengthen girl child education in their various states. These interventions by Her Excellency have turned her, as far as we're in the ministry, it has turned her into the chief advocate for an effective, massive alternate high school system for our girls. And this intervention is expected to spark similar endeavors across the country, among the states, igniting a wave of empowerment and opportunity for our young girls. And now, coming back to the federal government again, the federal government had, over the years, churned out a number of facilities because to be able to, it is one thing to want to have education for the girl child, but the environment has to be right. The facilities have to be made available. The laws have to be friendly and welcoming and protective and secure, give them security. So this is part of what the federal government has been doing over the years to ensure that the girls have that opportunity. One of which is what I've just mentioned earlier on, the out of school. Already, as we're speaking, by last month, we had about 2 million Nigerian children who enrolled in school, and majority of them are women, girls. Secondly, the significant levels of violence around schools with girls have also been a major problem that obstructed or potentially obstruct their going into school, remaining into school, and completing school. So all these have to be have been given attention to by the federal government through the establishment of a number of structures and agencies. One of them, a number of them are listed here. The ministry, in collaboration with a number of bilateral partners, such as UNICEF, World Bank, and a number of them, working in Nigeria, have been able to develop a set of initiatives and guidelines that will help to guide the education of these young girls and adolescent girls. One is re-entry guidelines so that they can come in seamlessly into education without any impediments. Also, a strategy has been worked out to ensure retention, completion, and transition for adolescent girls into school. These two policies were approved by the National Council on Education in December 2023 in Lagos. Also, the issue of security is so terribly important because that has been one of the major factors that have not allowed girls to either go to school or remain in school. We are all aware of some of the banditry, the effect of the banditry and insurgency it has had on schools in Nigeria. Now, this is one answer from the federal government to ensure that schools remain safe. Nigeria became signatory to the UN Safe Schools Declaration in 2018, and then a plan of action development partners as well, partners in education emergency working group, and then which all centered on the commitment of Nigeria to develop country-specific policies and guidelines that will ensure safety for our schools. To realize this, the following policies were developed by the ministry in collaboration with these agencies. Establishment of the National Policy on Safety, Security, and Violence-Free Schools. And in fact, the ministry had also adopted a standard operating procedure for the prosecution of any person who inflicts any form of violence in any school in Nigeria. And then also minimum standards for safe schools, guidelines for schools and learning facilities reopening after the COVID-19, and then the self-school declaration reporting and assessment forms in conflict areas. There's also a facilitator's guide for minimum standards for self-schools, and there's also a policy, a financial provision, to ensure that there's sufficient fund for, for all these policies and the establishment of the National School Safety and Security Response Center. This center is a very major outfit. It is ongoing, but it's already established, as you can see here, and with all the armed services of the country working together with the ministry to ensure that schools are covered, and not only covered, but they also, whenever there's a threat or potential threat or actual attack on any school, this agency, the security agencies, can respond very, very rapidly. All schools in Nigeria are required to link up with this center. They have a portal. They have a database, a portal through which all schools are registered. Already, all states have also been advised to get schools within their domain to register with this center. And a lot of them, from the last count we have, half of the states have already registered their schools on this platform, so that we'll be able to monitor on a 24-hour basis the situation of every school in Nigeria. These are other policy interventions, because one of the major problems which impede girls' education is the environment of the school, how attractive the school is, how close the school is. Now, girls, as we know, they need more clean to be able to be around in school for a long time. And so we have all these facilities for wash. So policies on inclusivity, which is intended to guide state governments, the federal government and state governments, and policies on gender in education that assures that every step that we take in the education system takes into account the issues of gender. Now, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Mother of the Nation, I want to pause here. The rest of the clip is great. I want to invite a lady, one of our directors, to present this part. And what is even unique about her is that she's a very powerful example of alternate high school. She's a product of that system. And she is the anchor officer for this program for Adolescent Girls Initiative for Learning and Empowerment Project in Nigeria. This is one of the most successful programs targeted at girls currently being run across a number of states initially 7, now with 11 more states coming on board, with practically all other states clamoring to be part of this project. And this is just a very short clip on what this project has been doing. And in my eye, with respect and your permission, invite Mrs. Haruna to come and do this short presentation to the audience. Thank you very much, sir. Yes, please.
Thank you, the Honorable Minister of Education, Your Excellency, our mother of the nation. My name is Mrs. Amina Abuba Haruna. I'm a director and also the National Project Coordinator of Adolescent Girls Initiative for Learning and Empowerment, Agile Project. In furtherance to the efforts and to ensure that we arrest poverty, negative cultural practices, the birth of the Adolescent Girls Initiative for Learning and Empowerment. Agile is a project to improve secondary education opportunity among our girls in the participating states. We started with 7 states, which we call them parent states. These parent states are Borno, Ekiti, Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, and Plateau. Now, because of the success story we have recorded in Adolescent Girls Initiative for Planning and Empowerment, another additional 11 states are coming on board under the additional financing. These states are Adamawa, Bauchi, Gombe, Jigawa, Nasarawa, Niger, Kogi, Kwara, Sokoto, Yobe, and Zamfara state. They've already started. It's remaining for us to start disbursement for them to start activities in the Agile participating state. It is a multi-sectoral project being coordinated by the Federal Ministry of Education, but there are other ministries that we are working together, and also their staff have been seconded to Federal Ministry of Education that we are working together to ensure that no girl is left behind. We want to ensure that we reduce the number of out-of-school children. We will make sure to reduce the number of out-of-school girls. Now, the project, the nomenclature is that it's a girl project, but notwithstanding, also boys are enjoying facilities under the Adolescent Girls Initiative for Learning and Empowerment. Now, these are some of the Ministry of Finance, Women Affairs, Health, Development, and Humanitarian and Poverty, and also these are being implemented in the Federal State Ministry of Education in the 7 and the 18 participating states. It will interest you that because of what we're doing, also the southern states, about 6 of them have written the expression of interest also to join the project. So the project is becoming bigger and bigger. I would like Your Excellency, our mother, to hear from the learners, the evidence base from the learners, their parent, the school-based management committee, the evidence base of what Agile project is doing at this various state. Thank you.
I stand here not just as a student, but as a voice of change.
Before the Agile project, my reality.
I stand here not just as a student, but as a voice of change.
Before the Agile project, my reality as a secondary school girl included poor school hygiene, inadequate infrastructure, and compromised safety.
Imagine trying to focus on studies in substandard conditions. The struggle was real.
Today, we reflect on the transformation, not just the infrastructure, but the hopes and dreams of every girl who deserves a better education.
Thanks to Agile, our classrooms now inspire learning. Modern toilets ensure hygiene, and the entire school is a safer space.
As a result of your commitment, girls' empowerment, Agile is not just changing our school, it's changing our destiny.
Thank you, Agile, for this support. We are going to make the best use of it.
The idea behind introducing Adolescent Girls Initiative for Learning and Empowerment Agile by the federal government was basically to ensure massive enrollment of out-of-secondary school girls in schools for sustainable peace and development.
Achievements recorded by Agile in Borno State, ranging from enrollment and renovations as well as construction of facilities in schools, can best be described as a success story, thus paving way for effective teaching and learning among the targeted beneficiaries.
Agile has brought relief to our parents by providing the students with conditional cash transfer free uniform has installed discipline in our students.
The advent of the Adolescent Girls Initiative for Learning and Empowerment can be said to be a game changer in propelling girl child education to where it ought to be.
They also innovated most of the schools, particularly girls' schools, and they have even provided scholarships for transition students.
Religious leaders have not only acknowledged the impact the activities of Agile have made generally in Borno, but were emphatic on the significance of girl child education. Girls Initiative for Learning and Empowerment Agile is a World Bank project education geared at improving secondary education opportunities for girls between 10
made me realize that I was accomplishing my dreams.
Our utmost priority is to see how we can ensure safety for the girl child and for the girl child to be protected wherever she is.
The community is aware of these achievements. That's why the community is supporting this Agile program in all the schools in our state.
I'm Dupe Wama, who's a student of Clockner Secondary School GSL1.
My name is Zuguna. My father's name is Galton. I am learning here in Blackwood School for the Deaf, Basa. I am in JS 3.
It was not looking like a boarding school because there was no fence and we were lacking some things even in our hostel. We were not comfortable with the way it is. There's lack of fence. Children used to go out of school anyhow.
We were facing a lot. There were not enough classes and the school fees. Some parents don't afford to pay their children's school fees, so they stay at home, forcing them into marriage and hard work. And before the coming of Agile, I was even at school because I had finished my secondary school since 2022. But when the Agile comes to existence, I now come back to secondary. I now come back to school so that I will study further.
Thank you, Your Excellency. This is some of the things we have done, a lot. We would have spent the whole day here watching what Agile has been doing. So we would like to also be applied that we invite you one day that you should be part of our Adolescent Girls Initiative for Learning and Empowerment. So the girl in the mirror is me, she is you, and she's all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. There's a last part of the clip, actually, which didn't show, which is girls involved in making handwork, crafts, making shoes, making caps, and a variety of, things that can actually keep them going in life, even without going for further education, after that level of education. And this is one of the things that this government has approved for all schools in Nigeria, which is the introduction of skills right from primary school level, right through secondary school, university. And the whole idea is that by the time a student, a learner finishes, even from primary school, he'll be able to do things physically for himself that he can live on. And you can't believe that most of the beneficiaries of these schemes are ladies. If you go to Borno now, Yobe, you find that most of the hats, this thing that we are hearing, they are actually woven by women in the house. So these are the kind of skills which we are now incorporating in the new education policy of this government to ensure that the 75% who don't make it to university and tertiary educations are meaningfully provided for in the country. Because a lot of times, a lot of focus is on 20, 25% who go to tertiary education, university for technical education, but we always forget about the 75. So this government is focusing on that 75 who are part of the out of school that we are all grappling with. So once more, we want to thank the mother of the nation, our chief advocate, and honestly, Your Excellency, you couldn't have taken, or the ministry couldn't have had a stronger voice, and you couldn't have taken a better campaign, because as we started with, education is above all. It is empowering. It is the one that distinguishes a human being from any other creation. And it is the one that allows for equality of all sectors of the society. Once more, we want to thank you immensely for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, our guest speaker, and thank you for the practical reality that you brought on, and thank you for also recognizing that skills acquisition is also going to be part of the education drive as we move on. In fact, Mother of the Nation, what I'm wearing was made by a young Nigerian girl that has acquired the skills of bidding, and the fact that she couldn't continue with formal education has established, and today she is an empowered Nigerian woman. So please, it is doable, it is actionable, and together we'll get there. So at this moment, I'll again like to emphasize that we have here with us the sisters to the Mother of the Nation from other parts of Africa. Again, we have Her Excellency, the First Lady of Angola, who is going to speak to us at some point. Her Excellency is here with us. Please, can we celebrate these wonderful women that are today being part of this? The First Lady of Burundi. Yes, please. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you. The First Lady of Ghana. Your Excellency. Thank you. The First Lady of Kenya, Mrs. Rachel, thank you very much. The First Lady of Mozambique, the First Lady of Zimbabwe. We also have the representatives of the First Ladies for the Republic of Uganda. Thank you very much, ma'am. And Namibia. Thank you. And when we're talking about skills acquisition, it is important to note that one of our women, at the time she was First Lady of the Borno State, ensured that women and girls acquired skills. And that's why the Borno Cup has become not just national, but also international. And so please, again, let's celebrate the wife of the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Her Excellency Nana Shettima. Thank you. Thank you indeed. Yes, we have here Her Excellency Mrs. Ajoke Murtala Mohammed. She is also former First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Ma'am, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Yes, the woman who loves nature. We also have the representative of the former First Lady, Haja Abacha, who is ably represented. Well, we are moving on, and I know the spirit of the Mother of the Nation. Yes. Okay. Yes. Thank you. We also have with us here from Gabon, the First Lady. From Gabon, the First Lady. Thank you. Thank you so very much. It's important to say that African First Ladies are moving on with this project, and like the President said in his speech, 15 countries so far have done this. And for Africa, Nigeria, the big brother, must take the lead. Thank God for the vision of the mother of the nation. We have a lot of dignitaries here present, and because we have to be as formal as we can and to make sure that we do not fail in the expectation of all the development tools that are tied to this initiative. And so we'll be listening to goodwill messages by our development partners. First, before I call them in, I think they all deserve a very loud round of applause. They believe in what we are doing and they are partnering with us. So, I'll invite you to speak as we go on. First, I'd like to invite that, and I want a very loud round of applause for them. Mrs. Jenna. Okay, I've just been told that Mama Peace is in the house. Our former First Lady, Her Excellency, Mrs. Patience Jonathan, Dame. Thank you. It's a collective responsibility, and that's why you find even the former are here with us. Now we have goodwill messages by development partners, and I'd like to start with the UNAIDS. UNAIDS, yes, the country representative to UNAIDS is going to kick off on these. Like we know, the continent is being threatened sometimes by HIV, but thank God the pandemic is being managed. Yes, Your Excellency, you have.
Thank you. I'm Dr. Zeken. I'm the UNAIDS country director. Allow me to recognize the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Excellency Senator Uleremu Tinubu, and your sisters from the other countries and their representative, and stand with your permission on existing protocol. I bring warm greetings from your sister, Mrs. Winnie Bianima, the UNAIDS Executive Director, and I really want, on behalf of UNAIDS, say how grateful I am and how optimistic, so I am. And on behalf of UNAIDS, really want to thank you for the launch of the We Are Equal campaign. And this is happening just less than 6 months ago. We were all in Victoria Falls, and you attended, Your Excellency, your first meeting of the UAFLAD. It was about a collective leadership on how we can end AIDS in children in Africa. I really want to commend you for really taking the ball rolling less than 6 months in sitting there. I remember seeing you in that meeting where you were really humble and you say, I was here to learn, and I can see you've learned very quickly, and then we can clap for the First Lady. This is a monumental beacon of renewed hope, boundless opportunities and empowerment of girls and young women in Nigeria. And on behalf of UNAIDS, we really want to commend you. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the 4 C's in the leadership. The first C, it's about competence, and you are competent, Your Excellency. The second C, it's about character. You've got character. I've listened to you when this girl child was abducted in school. You say things I would not repeat here. It requires character, so to do that. The 2 other things, as leader, it's about courage. You need to be courageous to embark on such an initiative, to be carrying that dream since 2007. And then the 4th thing is about contribution. You need to be willing to contribute because, let's call a spade a spade. Not all leaders are willing to contribute, and then some are selfish. So the launch of this initiative, it's really about the last 2, the courage, and your willingness, so to contribute. In championing the girls' education, you believe on the transformative power, ensuring that no girl is left behind. You are giving them an alternative in such a way that they can rewrite their stories, they can achieve the maximum of potential, and they can also ultimately contribute to the socio-economic development of this great nation. Because for us in the United Nations, Nigeria matters. If you get it right in Nigeria, you get it right in the sub-region, you get it right in the continent, and you also get it right, so in the world. And we really want to congratulate you for that. So in the United Nations Joint Program on HIV and AIDS, we have realized and recognized that the right of education, it is key. Achieving gender equality and advancing women's girls is important in ensuring that we can attain, the sustainable development goals and ending AIDS by 2030. Evidence suggests that if we keep girls in secondary school, if we allow them to terminate the secondary school, we're reducing the vulnerability of acquiring HIV and AIDS by at least 50%. And in that line, UNAIDS, in collaboration with UNESCO, UNICEF, UNFPA, and UN Women, we've launched the Education Plus initiative, and there are many countries in sub-region. I'm sure Education Plus is moving in Kenya, is moving in Sierra Leone, and in many other countries. So we really hope, Your Excellency, that the UN, through the Education Plus initiative, will partner with this initiative in such a way that we can continue to provide many opportunities to the girls and the women of this beautiful country. In closing, I would like to affirm UNAIDS' unwavering commitment in supporting the government of Nigeria achieving the goals of the We Are Equal campaign. Then as we celebrate this historic moment, let us never forget that keeping girls in school is crucial, it's a fundamental human right, and it's a pathway to national development. A development in a country, development in a continent which is free for HIV and AIDS, especially among children. If you allow me to quote what His Excellency the President said, if you need anything from UNAIDS, we are ready, we are available. Thank you so much, and then God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much, and thank you also for your promise to continue to be partner in progress. We'll move back now. At this moment, I think it's important for us to know the history of the First Lady's organization called OFLAD. And I have here with us, who is going to join me here in the microphone now very soon, the Executive Secretary of the Organization of African First Ladies for Development, OFLAD, Dr. Nardos Berhanu. She holds the esteemed position of Executive Secretary of the organization, where she passionately advocates for the rights of women and children. With over 20 years of diverse experience in leadership, public policy, and advocacy across various organizations, she has been a steadfast champion for gender equality and holistic development. I'd like to bring her onto the microphone. She has worked with diverse constituencies on issue of gender, health, and development in general. More than 2 decades work experience in the financial, academic, business, and philanthropic sectors. Please welcome with us this beauty and brain, as I invite her to the microphone, Executive Secretary of OFLAD. I want the applause to be on.
Your Excellency Senator Oluremi Tinubu, First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellency Dr. Ana Diaz Lorenzo, First Lady of the Republic of Angola, Your Excellency Mrs. Angeline Niachimie, First Lady of the Republic of Burundi, Your Excellency Mrs. Zita Olingui Nguema, First Lady of the Republic of Gabon, Your Excellency Mrs. Rebecca Akufo-Addo, First Lady of the Republic of Ghana, Your Excellency Mrs. Rachel Ruto, First Lady of the Republic of Kenya, Your Excellency Dr. Izura Gonzalo Ferrao Nyusi, First Lady of the Republic of Mozambique, Your Excellency Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, First Lady of the Republic of Zimbabwe, former First Lady present here, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. First and foremost, allow me to express my sincere appreciation to Her Excellency Senator Olurimi Tinubu, the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, for the warm welcome and hospitality extended to us since our arrival in this beautiful city of Abuja. It is indeed an honor to be here today, attending the launch of the We Are Equal campaign in Nigeria under the theme, Education as a Powerful Tool for Change, No Girl Left Behind. Congratulations, Your Excellency, on successfully mobilizing all of us from far and near to unite in support of this crucial cause. Your dedication to establish an alternative high school for girls reflects the steadfast commitment to provide every girl with a second opportunity in life. Indeed, don't we all deserve such a chance? Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, today I have the privilege to stand before you and recount the history of the Organization of African First Ladies for Development, OAFLAD. This organization's name may resonate with many of you as owing to the exceptional leadership of First Ladies, some of whom are here with us today. During a critical period when HIV and AIDS was ravaging the African continent, 37 African First Ladies who decided to leverage their extraordinary visibility and great influence convened in Geneva for a meeting facilitated by UNAIDS and the International AIDS Trust. Out of this pivotal gathering in 2002, emerged the Organization of African First Ladies Against HIV/AIDS, OFLA. Established as a united voice for Africa's most vulnerable population, women and children impacted by HIV/AIDS. Through their organizations, the First Ladies of Africa have worked tirelessly to transform their influence into concrete action, advocating for programs to eliminate new HIV infections among children and improve access to care and support services. Their collective efforts were profoundly impactful in mitigating the impact of the pandemic on the continent. The then Executive Director of UNAIDS, Mr. Michel Sidibe, attested to this, stating that without the First Ladies of Africa, the face of HIV/AIDS would have never changed on the continent. OFLAD also signed a memorandum of understanding with the Africa Union Commission to collaborate closely on addressing challenges hindering us from realizing the vision of the Africa we want, as depicted in Agenda 2063. As a result, impactful campaigns have been co-led in key areas such as the prevention of mother-to-child transmission of AIDS, ending child marriage, and accelerating reduction of maternal mortality rates in Africa. Over the years, OFLA has evolved from a forum of ideas into an institution capable of conducting continent-wide advocacy. The highest decision-making body of the organization is the General Assembly, which elects members of its steering committee, president and vice president every 2 years through a transparent process. In 2012, it established a permanent secretariat in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, of which I am deeply honored to serve as the executive secretary. In 2019, African First Ladies made a strategic shift from solely addressing the symptoms of HIV/AIDS crisis to tackling the root causes of poverty and pervasive inequality faced by women across the continent. In line with the transformative vision, they rebranded OFLA as OFLAD, Organization of African First Ladies for Development. OFLAD has broadened its membership and leveraged the influence of its esteemed members to spearhead bold and tangible initiatives at the national, regional, and global levels. Guided by the principle that the empowerment of women is central to sustainable development, OFLAD continues to provide leadership to ensure that issues of gender equality remain high on the continental political agenda and fragile gains are not reversed. They keep on actively engaging governments, donors, the private sector, and public sectors to mobilize resources and implement life-saving services. African First Ladies gathered to celebrate 20 years of resilience, advocacy, leadership, and succession at a ceremony held in Kinshasa, Democratic Republic of Congo in 2003. The event was hosted by the Vice President of OFLAD, Her Excellency Mrs. Denis Nyakeru Tshisekedi, was attended by the head of state and various allies from around the world. As a progressive organization, OFLAD officially introduced the We Are Equal campaign, injecting new energy on the issue of gender equality in Africa under the pillars of health, education, gender-based violence, and economic empowerment, targeting to reach millions of Africans with the message, we are equal. Working together, our society can be too. OFLAD is more just than an advocacy organization. It embodies a powerful message in itself. Who could advocate more passionately for the rights of the girl child than a First Lady who was once a young African girl herself? Who can truly understand and empathize with the pain and suffering of the African woman better than a First Lady who has grown up and lived within the same culture? And who can better exemplify the strength of African women's leadership to young girls than a First Lady who, despite cultural stereotypes, has demonstrated that it is possible to lead with compassion and empathy and not just with intellect? Finally, as we pause to reflect on the remarkable journey of OFLAD, it's crucial to recognize the invaluable contributions of all the First Ladies present here and those represented. Through their unwavering leadership, OFLAD has emerged as a formidable force for good. As we gaze towards the future, let us reaffirm our dedication to the noble mission of OFLAD and join hands in forging a brighter, healthier, and more prosperous Africa for generations to come. Allow me to finish by quoting the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu. African First Ladies, keep leading, believing, and working hard. We will follow. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The Executive Secretary at the Secretariat of OFLAD will continue with the goodwill messages, and please, I'd like to request that you have maximum of 2 minutes. If you can make it shorter, that'll be fine. Thank you so much. As I invite Elizabeth Glaser Pediatric AIDS Foundation representative to speak to us. 2 minutes. And please, let's welcome her warmly.
Her Excellency, the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, our mother, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, First Ladies of the Organization of African First Ladies for Development here present, wife of the Vice President, wife of the secretary to the Federation, my own mother, Mrs. Regina Akume, all protocols duly observed. My name is Dr. Ngwevesi Tobunde. I work with the Elizabeth Glaser Pediatric AIDS Foundation as the country lead here in Nigeria. ECPAF is an international organization working in several of the African countries that are represented here today, including Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Lesotho, Eswatini, Kenya, and several others. Our vision is to see a world where every child and family lives free of HIV. We do know that Nigeria has made significant progress in the fight against HIV, but gaps still exist. And these gaps are in women and children. We are having 20,000 Nigerian children infected with HIV every year. That's the highest number for any country. Nigeria contributes 1 in every 5 children who are newly infected. And we do know that 90% of these infections are from parents to the children. Therefore, if we're able to prevent new infections in women, it's a very strategic tool for preventing new infections in children and in families. Studies have consistently shown that education is a very powerful tool for reducing for the risk of HIV, especially in young women. It is therefore termed a social vaccine. We also know that for every year of secondary school completed, the risk of HIV infection is significantly reduced in a young lady. Therefore, the Alternative High School for Young Girls is a very timely and strategic initiative to close the open and running tap of new infections in women in Nigeria and by extension, children. This campaign aligns directly with the goal of ECPAF, so we are very happy to identify with it. We therefore wish I, on behalf of the CEO of ECPAF, Mr. Chief Lion, and the entire foundation, we heartily congratulate our mother, Her Excellency, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, the Organization of African First Ladies for Development, on this great feat and achievement. We are truly excited to identify with it. We wish you a successful and impactful launch and implementation. Thank you. Yes, we are equal.
Thank you. Yes, we are equal. I'd like to invite the country representative of the World Health Organization, WHO. Please let's welcome all our development partners with warm applause from the group. Thank you. 2 minutes.
Your Excellency, Mother of our nation, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, and your invitees, First Ladies, ladies and gentlemen, in the interest of time, please allow me to stand on existing protocol. Let me first of all start by really thanking Your Excellency for inviting the UN here on this event, the We Are Equal campaign launch. The time couldn't be right. The world is lagging behind with the SDGs. The UN Secretary General called for acceleration to rescue the SDGs. At the launch of the SDG in 2016, the UN Secretary General launched a strategy for women, adolescents, and children health 2016-2030, which was articulated around 3 priorities. The first priority was to end maternal and child mortality. The second priority was to thrive, giving opportunity for children, women, and adolescents. And last one was to transform. And I realized that the We Are Equal campaign that is being launched today really addresses the area of transformation, but also it's an accelerator on its own right to catch up. Thank you, Your Excellency, for this opportunity, and through you, thank you for all First Ladies for rallying behind adolescents and girls. We are happy to join the We Are Equal campaign and add our voice to the movement. We will be happy to use our platform to amplify the message. We are really hopeful that through this campaign, we will really catch up. Thank you again, Your Excellency, for your generosity. I can still remember a few months ago when you offered to become the tuberculosis ambassador. So thank you again for this additional commitment. We are sure that Nigeria as a big brother, alongside a brother and sister, will show the way for us to get things right. Thank you again, Your Excellency.
Your Excellencies all, at this point, I'd like to invite UNICEF to the microphone. UNICEF? Okay. Looks like UNICEF is not here. I'd like now to call on UNFPA. UNFPA. The Deputy Country Rep is going to be addressing this gathering. All these papers, thank you.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, CON, Your Excellencies, First Ladies of the African nations here present, allow me to stand on the established protocol and express our gratitude, the gratitude of UNFPA to be here today for the launch of the We Are Equal campaign. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, this gathering is a testimony of our shared pursuit of advancing equality, health, well-being, and empowerment for the girl child, the adolescent, young girl, and women in general. This is an endeavor that resonates very strongly with the mandate of UNFPA. It pleases me to recall that just 3 weeks ago, the Executive Director of UNFPA, Dr. Natalia Kanen, was in this very room to launch the UNFPA flagship State of the World Population Report that is titled Interwoven Lives, Threads of Hopes, Ending Inequalities in Sexual and Reproductive Health and Rights. Here again, we are talking about inequalities. So that report that was launched about 3 weeks ago presented important data that showed that in many countries, inequalities in such key measures as health, education has reduced. In other places, however, disparities are actually widening and inequalities are still persistent everywhere. And in some places, the rights of women, girls, and gender diverse people are subject to increased pushback. So our presence today, Your Excellencies, is to show our full support to the We Are Equal campaign. The concept of alternative high school girl, initiated by our mother here, the First Lady, more than 17 years ago, is still very relevant today, and it provides a second chance education to young girls who have dropped out of school and wish to further their education to fulfill their dreams and aspirations. It is a concrete step taken to achieving the objectives of the campaign, and it is the opportunity for us here to especially congratulate the First Lady for this foresight and to enduring legacy that she has been championing on behalf of girls in Nigeria and in Africa in general. The multi-dimension of the We Are Equal campaign call upon us to increase our targeted investments in empowerment, in health, in education, and comprehensive life education, which equip women, girls, with tools that make them make informed decisions about their bodies and lives to empower them as agents of change in the future. This is the reason why we at UNFPA, we are working with government and critical actors to give second chance education in formal and informal settings to our girls. But we must act faster. We are still have a lot to do, so we have to come together as developing partners to see how we speed up and increase the support to achieve this. It is in this sense that UNFPA is here really pleased to join this campaign. And Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, I want here on behalf of UNFPA to reaffirm our commitment to this, and together with you, our partners here today, we can do it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'd like to call finally on the goodwill messages as lined up. If we have Gavi or representative of Gavi here, thank you.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. I am Chioma Senami Wachuku. I'm the head of public policy engagement at Gavi. I'm really honored to be here to celebrate the launch of this campaign. I would like to thank, first of all, Her Excellency, the Honorable Oluremi Tinubu, First Lady of Nigeria, and the Organization of African First Ladies for Development, and all the partners here today at this monumentous time. I would like to also extend our gratitude and congratulations to Her Excellency on behalf of Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance. As we reflect on our floods, We Are Equal campaign to advance gender equity and close the gender gap across the continent, it's important that we continue to galvanize our collective efforts to dismantle the barriers that hold women and girls back. Our access to healthcare, education, economic opportunities, and freedom from violence should be equal to all, and that's the essential truth. We appreciate the effort of Her Excellency for launching this campaign. Education as a powerful tool for change, no girl left behind. In the area of healthcare, where we focus as Gavi, I want to highlight what we're doing to make sure no adolescent girl is left behind from accessing life-saving health interventions as we push towards supporting the cervical cancer elimination goal. We are all allies in this fight, and we know that equitable and sustainable vaccination will play a key part in making that future reality. In December of 2022, the Gavi board approved the revitalization of the HPV vaccine program with an investment of more than $600 million. These funds are dedicated to achieving the ambitious goal of reaching 86 million girls with the HPV vaccine by the end of 2025. This will help avert 1.4 million future deaths in the process. This revitalization allows Gavi to dedicate additional funding to help countries and partners reach more adolescent girls than ever before with this life-saving vaccine. Between 2023 and 2026, 20 of the countries with the highest burden of cervical cancer will introduce the HPV vaccine, with Gavi through its alliance partners supporting introductions in countries such as Angola, Mali, and also in Nigeria. At the core of the successfully protecting adolescent girls from cervical cancer is a stronger coordination and linkages across sectors, which is what we're seeing here today with the Ministry of Health, as well as encouraging governments and communities to recognize and prioritize adolescent health needs and services. This will set the pathway for the next generation. In Nigeria, phase 1 of the HPV program was launched last year, and the phase 2 program will be launched this year. The scale and the reach of the HPV program has been truly impressive in the country, with strong engagement by Her Excellency. Thank you very much, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, for that. Traditional leaders, religious leaders, market women, as well as civil society who have been part of this important introduction. We appreciate also the partnership with the NPHCDA, the Ministry of Health, and especially the Ministry of Education, alliance partners, and again, civil society to help us scale up but also sustain the program. We just want to also acknowledge the excellencies here in the room and encourage you in your countries and across the continent to please support the scale-up of the HPV program and also follow the learnings and lessons that Nigeria has successfully done the past few months. Throughout this year of 2024, we'll see a few more introductions. As I mentioned, it will also take place in Nigeria. We know that there needs to be continued collaboration through multi-sectoral partnership, and we're glad to be here today, and we look forward to continue to work with you in your countries. Thank you very much for your time.
Right. We have listened to endorsement. We have listened to continued support. And we have also listened, I think the crux of the matter today that has really, really energized and excited me is the fact that the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has said we can come knocking concerning education for our young girls, and he'll be there to be partners and ensure that no one is left behind. So at this point, we'll take a short break. Her Excellency, the Mother of the Nation, other First Ladies for tea break. And at the back of where you're sitting, there's also provision for people who are not fasting to also, I can see my sister rushing to me. There's an information. Yes. We'll be back at 12:30. Very generous of the Mother of the Nation. Usually tea break is about 15 minutes, but we'll be back at 12:30 in this hall. May I please invite Her Excellency, Mother of the Nation, who would lead other First Ladies for tea, and representatives of First Ladies. The Vice President's wife will also be in this entourage, and I'm sure our former First Ladies will join for tea. Remember, please, we should all be seated by 12:30. 12:30 after tea. Enjoy your tea break and come back re-energized as we continue.